The bonus point win in the end, but it was hard fought.
Yeah, that felt like a proper test match. Wales brought an awful lot of physicality, and you can see that they're a team that's on the rise. You know, they're improving massively. You definitely saw it last week, and I think you saw it out today. So, fair play to them. But I thought that we there's times we didn't manage it too well, but on the whole, I think we did a really good job of it. Yeah.
It was a day for defence, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, both sides of the ball was I think we talked about the fight line during the week, you know, and how it was going to be a massively collision-dominant game, and it was a day for tackling, which don't tend to be the days I enjoy too much, but I loved it. There was great.
And it was a day for you to come back to this ground and score a try after, 5 years?
Yeah.
What a moment.
Yeah, that was pretty special for me, I'm not going to lie. It's been a hard few years. And it's just really nice to get back in the score sheet again, so it is doing what I love. So it's always a privilege to be out here on this pitch in front of these fans, and just very thankful for it.
Yeah, and has there been a need, a pressure you put on yourself to make sure you take your chance when it comes?
Yeah, I think I put probably a bit too much pressure on myself, especially in the France game a few weeks back. I think I let the pressure get the better of me, whereas Faz was kind of saying to me, look, relax and just be yourself and do what you do best. And I felt like I did that tonight.
And at this stadium now, only one man has scored more tries for Ireland than you, a certain Brian O'Driscoll.
I didn't know that, but it's a pretty cool stat, yeah. I think I'm going to have to score a few more to get ahead of him.
Well done.
Cheers, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, did he bite? But he certainly contributed tonight with one of Ireland's tries on the evening. Let's get the reaction from the commentary box of Shane Williams and Gordon Darcy on the respective performances. Obviously, Gordon, you take Ireland. What's your assessment of their performance tonight?
It's been very much as the same as this Six Nations has gone. Some really positive things and some areas that need to work on. I think a big. What was different between here and what was different in Twickenham? Obviously, England didn't really pose the same questions in defence. So Wales did today, and Ireland struggled to find answers. Our game management at times was questionable. We played a game that maybe was on a team sheet rather than what was out here tonight. So Wales came here. Ireland didn't manage the territory very well, didn't get themselves into scoring positions, and were quite easy to defend. And I think that is going to raise a lot of questions.
And Shane, from a Welsh point of view, Wales asking questions, but again, not quite getting the win, I suppose.
Yeah, not getting the win, but definitely asking questions. I thought it was a huge improvement from the Scotland performance again. You're playing a class outfit like Ireland that dominated possession, played in all the key areas, and were clinical when they needed to be, but the defensive setup and the way they aligned and they kind of learned from the first 5 minutes of Ireland attack was superb. Some of the collisions were huge from both teams, huge performances, the likes of both of them. Dewi Lake again, and Alex Mann, I think he had over 32 tackles in the end, which is just phenomenal.
And what thing Wales did have tonight was, the try of the night. There's no doubt about that. It will live long in the memory. Rhys Carré was the scorer, the loose head prop, and he's been talking with Gabriel.
Well, there was a feeling of so near, yet so far, a couple of weeks ago against Scotland. Is it similar a little bit this evening?
Yeah, we're showing, obviously, improvement, and we're showing that we're in the fight to the last play of these games. I think we're showing our people as well that we're back, we're coming back, and like you said, last week was gut wrenching, this week again in the game to the last minute. So we're getting there, we're working hard, and we're getting there.
What's pleasing you in particular? What are this team finding?
I think what's always been there is our Welsh heart and our Welsh fight. We give our all on the pitch for 80 minutes every week, and I think the results are getting better slowly, and I think we're building somewhere nicely.
Now listen, Wales' top try scorer in this Six Nations is your good self, but have you scored a better try than that one?
I don't think so. I think that would probably be up there. It'll be the furthest one out anyway.
Tell us about it.
It's how rugby works. I just saw some space and just went as hard as I could, and luckily no one caught me.
Shane Williams had said a few minutes earlier, out in that position, Rhys Carré doesn't look out of position on that left wing.
I take that. Off Shane, that's a great compliment. But yeah, look, the result's all that matters, and unfortunately we're on the wrong end of it today. But yeah.
And now, of course, it is to turn performance into victory. So how do you sum up the importance of next week back in Cardiff and getting that win?
Yeah, next week's massive, back with our home fans. Hopefully we'll fill out the stadium again like we did last 2 weeks ago against Scotland, which was epic. We really felt the crowd behind us in that game, so hopefully we can do it again.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Yes, big game coming up for Wales next weekend, the final weekend of the Championship, as they host Italy. And you just knew he'd be totally self-effacing and modest about that try. But what a score. Everybody here today and those watching will remember it for a long time. What about the assessment of the Ireland captain, Caelan Doris? He's with Gabriel.
Caelan, well done. Sum up the performance, and I suppose in a way, in a sense, tonight you had to fight, didn't you?
Definitely, yeah. Probably scrappy. Lacked a little bit of the clinical edge that we showed a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, targeted a fast start, got the try early on, then the disallowed try, and then let them build a little bit of momentum. They had a bit of a purple patch towards the end of the first half, so plenty to work on. We want to finish off strong with a good performance back here against Scotland. It's a week that we haven't typically done our best in, so there's going to be a lot of motivation to get it right next week.
Yeah, what was it today that pleased you most?
I think some of the scrum stuff was a lot better than it has been over the last 3 games. I think we were firing shots. Even when we didn't convert earlier on, we were playing some good attacking rugby. So there's definitely some good stuff to build on.
And it was a night when some players came in that haven't had too much experience and they made their mark.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Jacob on the left wing, thought he was very good. Kieran Froley off the bench again. Nick Timoney's been incredibly impactful off the bench, and he showed some very good stuff again today. So there's some good depth in there now and good competition. We're pushing ourselves in the right direction.
You look at the table now, you're 1 point behind France. You all turn into Scotland supporters tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll turn the page pretty quickly, and like I say, targeting the best performance of the campaign in our final week.
Thank you very much. Well done.
Cheers.
Yes, all eyes on Murrayfield for Ireland tomorrow, and hoping that Scotland do them a favour by beating France, in which is going to be a fantastic game to watch, I'm sure. Remember, Italy against England also tomorrow, and that one is live on ITV. We've heard from the Ireland captain. Let's hear from the Welsh captain, Dewi Lake. He is with Gabriel, of course.
Well, so many positives again when you look at your team and its performance, but is the overriding emotion disappointment?
Yeah, that's probably a tough question at the moment, actually. Obviously, we're disappointed to lose a game. I think to be within 2 points in periods of that game, the physicality that we've shown in that first half especially, yeah, probably disappointed. But ultimately, I think like the development of this group over the last 4 weeks has been monumental, and the changes in our game, the way we're adapting on pitch as well as off it to what we're learning week by week, I think there's massive positives to take from today. Is
this in its way a better performance than a couple of weeks ago against Scotland, away in Ireland, and what you showed all around?
Yeah, I think we spoke about that Scotland game in round 3 being our baseline now. You know, we've proved to ourselves and we've proved to everyone else that we can do it and where we can be at, and so we can't drop below that now.
And have you gone above that at times today?
Yeah, I think at times massively. I think our defence was massively improved in round 3. Tonight we're dominating collisions. Tonight we're getting turnovers where we're knocking teams backwards, and I think that has been the massive development over the last 2 weeks for us.
And are you getting some class individual performances? I think about your scrum half, James Botham, various others you could name.
Yeah, 100%. I think, look, that comes from confidence and belief. I think the more that we play together, the more that we develop, the more that we put performances together like that, boys' confidence is only going to grow.
And have we seen one of the great tries by a Welsh prop tonight?
Yeah, possibly. I think reminds me of Gethin Jenkins' his try back in the day, you know, the sidestep to finish. But yeah, look, Carey's been excellent throughout the campaign and adds another try to his tally tonight. But yeah, look, what a finish.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gabriel. Thanks, Miles. We've made it down to the pitch side, and I'm delighted to say that the guys and I have been joined by James from Gibson-Park, celebrating his 50th cap with a fine win for Ireland tonight. How did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was great, thank you. I suppose, first of all, happy to get the win against a tough Welsh side. We knew they were going to put it up to us, and they certainly did that. But I suppose, yeah, overall happy with the win.
Yeah, and a bonus point win to boot, so it keeps you very much in the hunt at this stage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I suppose it's all we could have done. I suppose go out and get 5 points, and we managed to do that, albeit a bit scrappy, but got there in the end.
What did you make of Wales and their challenge tonight? Because we've seen them steadily improve over the course of this championship, haven't we?
Yeah, they're a serious team, and we saw them put it up to Scotland last week, and much the same today. I thought they were outstanding on defence and many other facets of the game. And like I said, they really put it up to us, and we knew it was coming. We're probably a little bit disappointed with some of the stuff that we put out, but yeah, we'll go again next week.
Jameson, we were talking at half-time around how well you started and then how well you finished that half. Felt like you were going around the corner an awful lot, exhausting them, but then the middle part, you seemed to kind of hit to the middle and come back to the blind. Was that a conscious tactic?
No, we're just trying to play the space as best we can, but I think we went away from our structure a little bit through that middle part of the first half, and I suppose they defended us pretty well when we did that. So, but like you said, at the back end of that first half, I think we got back into a bit of shape and caused them a few problems.
Jameson, sorry, Bessie, you go.
No, you
just
take over.
The Big Ten debate in Ireland at the minute. How important is your role in that? You saw a couple of weeks ago at Allianz Stadium how much you dominated the ball and maybe kept the ball out of sort of Jack Crowley's hands. Is that a big part of your game to take a bit of pressure off those 10s?
Look, I try my best to, but these guys are. I'd say they're pretty seasoned now. You know, they've been in the green jumper a number of years, and they're doing an unbelievable job at running the week and helping us play some good footy. So I'm just trying to do my job as best I can, and I think the lads are as well.
Jameson, just looking ahead to next week, you sort of said there's a few things that you want to improve on. What areas are those, do you think?
Certainly in the second half, we're a little bit scrappy coming out of our own end. We like to try and apply pressure after points, and I don't think we did that very well after all our tries, actually. So that'll be something we look at, and then just being better through the middle half of the field. And I think they dominated territory in the second half, so there's a few things to look at and improve for sure.
Last one from me, buddy. Wales today, you spoke of that power in defence. Where did Wales challenge you today? Do you see they've improved throughout this tournament? That defence for us, looking at it from above, looked really, really impressive. How did it feel on the pitch?
Yeah, like I said, they did some seriously good work in the contact, I thought, and put in some great shots, and it was hard for us at times to gain momentum. And then on the other side of the ball, I think they're an outstanding attacking team. I think Matt Sherwood is a class coach, and we've struggled against them in the past, and even from memories playing against the Cardiff Blues, he runs some nice stuff, and it's hard to defend. So they're certainly trending in the right way, and I think it's good for the game for sure.
When you look at the way Ireland started this championship and the disappointment against France, and you know, Andy Farrell, your coach, had a bit to say about that. You know, how far have you moved on? And you've obviously been working really hard. Where as a group do you think you've made those improvements?
I think right across the board, I think it was pretty clear for everybody to see in that first performance we weren't at the races. So that was very disappointing for us, and we knew it wasn't us as a team. So thankfully, I suppose the following couple of weeks we turned it around a small bit and made some improvements across the board. And I suppose the most impressive thing for me is we've gone out and we've really attacked the game and put the ball in space and played footy that we're enjoying and we can be proud of. So certainly areas to get better for sure, but yeah, kind of I suppose trending in the right direction.
50th cap this week, a huge honour. What song have you been practicing all week, knowing that you're going to have to sing in front of the boys later on?
I have a tried and true Bob Marley number that I'll probably go to.
Give us an example now.
We're going to let you go and join your teammates and get ready for your big number. So thank you very much indeed. I'm going to say best of luck for next week as well. Go on.
Thanks very much. Appreciate you guys.
Cheers. Thank you. Great stuff. Tremendous. Good to see him, and what a servant he's been for Ireland. Another big performance for him tonight.
It's actually amazing. Jamie was said before the game that he's only got 50 tests. It feels like he's been around for an eternity, and you know, to take over from Conor Murray, who's you know, held such an important role for this Irish team over the course of a decade, and then brought another dimension to the Ireland attack. Very different scrum half than Conor Murray, maybe more akin to the early years of Conor Murray, but he's been sensational. And he obviously has huge pride pulling on the green jersey as a project player coming over, and I think he's embraced the country in a massive way. His family have, and he's been an incredible servant to Ireland so far. And hopefully there's a few years left in him yet. He looks as though he's got some serious juice in the leg still. So yeah, he's going to be an important player, because you look at second and third scrum half behind him, there does feel like there's a substantial gap still.
Jamie, a word on Wales. We saw improvement against Scotland. Another step forward tonight?
Without a doubt. I thought they were magnificent today, Wales. I say tonight. Superbly brave in everything they did. I thought on the advantage line they were magnificent, especially defensively, that stopping power. We know how physical Ireland are. They've prided themselves down the years on how physical they are, winning momentum, that phase after phase after phase, that green wave. Wales stopped it dead in its tracks on so many occasions in that test match, and they can take huge pride from that. We talked about Wales being a bit soft, maybe down the last year, teams finding it easy to score easy tries against them. Tonight was very different. That level of defensive intensity was absolutely brilliant from Wales.
I think Jamie's right. You speak about teams who are traditionally very much power-based: France, England, South Africa, Ireland. We didn't see a huge amount of dominance apart from that first 10 minutes today. They stepped up and they were brilliant in the contact area. They made a scrap of every single breakdown. And I thought in attack, what they've been really good at, what they did really well against Scotland and again tonight, was they got their good ball players on the ball in the right areas. They got Derry Lake on the ball on the front foot. They got Wainwright on the ball. They got Eddie James on the ball. And if you can get the game going forward, it makes life so much easier for your 9, your 10, your back three to come into the game. And yes, it wasn't an absolutely scintillating game of rugby, but I just thought the last couple of weeks have been really good from Wales in sticking to a plan. It looks more like what they do Monday to Friday. So they look like they've worked on that setup and that shape Monday to Friday, and we've seen it the last couple of Saturdays. So if they can perform again like that next week, they've got an excellent chance of getting a victory.